Salam everyone, this is Sumi. Welcome to What's Going On by Sumi, powered by Depilex. आज देखते हैं हमारे contestant कौन है जो जीते हैं हमारा makeover session. So let's see who it is. हाँ जी, अब टाइम आ गया है मेरी बातचीत का with my guest today and of course someone whom I've known for years and years and mashallah she's grown up to be a fine lady, I must say, very tamizdar and all of that, but no, she's marked a niche of her own in the industry that she works in, which is not one. There are many things that she does, multi-talented. Haiya Bokhari, how are you?
Hi Sumi, thank you so much for having me.
Of course, this has been due for God knows how long.
I know. सितारे नहीं मिल रहे थे, finally अब मिल गए.
तुमने मिला दिया सितारों को. आज तो मैं करके रहूँगी. Great to have you.
So happy.
But how have you been? I'm seeing you after a year. After that, I think it was last year only. But उसको भी अब अगर हम लोग calculate करें तो साल होने वाला है.
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
So have you been? What's life like in the pandemic and your work and everything?
Life's been pretty chill. I'm gonna say I've been extremely blessed, and I'm very grateful that the pandemic didn't really affect me the way it's kind of affected a lot of people
worldwide.
Just worldwide. So I was able to take a lot of time for myself. I was able to focus a lot on myself, what I want to do, where I want to head in life, and just kind of been focused a little internal rather than external during this time.
That's amazing because I think that's what we need, and we kind of like ignore it and avoid it because we don't have the time for that. But this was a blessing in disguise for most of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So Haiya, I know you've spoken about this a lot of times. It's going to be a repeated question, but I'm going to twist it a little bit in a way. मैं हमेशा focus करती हूँ कि अगर आपने law पढ़ा है तो ज़रूरी नहीं कि आप वकील बनके ही पूरी ज़िंदगी गुजारेंगे. You did journalism.
I actually did English literature.
Literature, there
English
you go.
literature.
Then you got into journalism.
Yeah.
You worked in Beacon House administration, and from there you went to styling. You know, how do you deal with this? You do everything that you feel passionate for and then just move on? How does it work?
So I basically really lucked out at the beginning of my career because I was at the right place at the right time. And I was working in Beacon House in like their like head office management type situation, and I absolutely hated it because I'm not one for a 9-to-5 job at all. And like kudos to people who do it because it's soul sucking.
It is.
But so Hello Pakistan had actually just started out. This is, I want to say, 2013 or 12 or 13. And I got hired there and I started working with them. That was my segue into journalism. I'd also been writing previously, but like for like kids publications and stuff.
Right.
But so this was like my first rodeo, and then because it was a lifestyle and fashion publication, we started doing shoots and stuff. And so the styling bit kind of happened very organically, and maybe like a year after I'd been working and doing shoots, so I realized that, oh, अच्छा wait, इसको styling कहते हैं, जो मैं रिचुअल जो को देखती कहती हूँ कि किसी दिन मैं भी ये करूँगी तो मैं ये कर रही हूँ अब. So yeah, that was the beginning.
Nice. So you know, like whenever there's motivational speaking, they're like आप students को आके बताएं because you do multiple things. मैंने ये चीज़ देखी हमारे culture में वो programmed है कि अगर तुम डॉक्टर बन रहे हो तो डॉक्टर ही बन के रहोगे, तुमने सिंगिंग नहीं करनी, तुमने वकील नहीं बनना. But there are a lot of people like Ali Noor and Ali Hamza and all who've done different things. Do you think there should be that kind of a mentality, or you should just pursue whatever you're passionate for?
I think you should definitely pursue whatever you're passionate about. Look, like working is not fun. okay, but you kind of have to do it because अपने पैसे तो कमाने हैं कहीं ना कहीं से और कुछ ना कुछ करके. So if you're doing something that you're passionate about, you'll be willing to invest a lot more of yourself in your job, and it also feels a lot more rewarding. And so I always think that it's very important for you to pursue whatever you're passionate about, and what you're passionate about also tends to change. So someone who's been, or like, at least for me, like that's been the case. Like I've been extremely passionate about styling, but I'm not any longer. So, and now I'm trying to figure out what my new passion is, or what it is that I really want to head towards. And yeah, I think it's very important to keep your horizons open.
Open all the time.
Absolutely.
Excellent, that's great, and not like limiting yourself. And well, obviously the quality of work also deteriorates, and you don't want that to happen.
Quality of work, and also how it affects you, right? Like हम तो सिर्फ output का सोच रहे होते हैं, या we're just talking about it from a productivity point of view, but also when you're doing something that you don't enjoy, but you're forcing yourself to do it, it does take an effect. Like it does have an effect on you, right? And like it makes you grumpy, or you're dissatisfied, or you're not enjoying what you're doing. And that's not a nice place to be in mentally. And
of course,
you know, for me that matters way more than productivity, to be honest.
Yeah.
Very like heavy leftist sitting right here.
Absolutely. And then your Twitter rants. It's about so many things, and you know, the main thing that I want to, like, few things that I want to touch upon, the subjects that I want to touch upon. You being single, independent after being divorced. How has life been? Because this is something very sensitive. A lot of people don't want to talk about it. It's a taboo subject for some people. But I am so glad that you're so open about it and you talk about it. How did you deal with it? Because you were at the peak of your career as a stylist and everything happened. How did you keep yourself sane, intact, working, doing everything, being single? You did.
I did.
Well, at least you were great at portraying that.
I absolutely didn't. I completely fell apart. It was a very difficult time of my life. And so, like you mentioned, I was at the peak of my career at that point in time, and you realize that if you're not doing well mentally, nothing else will work out. Yeah, absolutely. So I'd be unable to like get out of bed. I was extremely depressed, like clinically depressed. I had to go on medication eventually, because even with therapy, you know, I wasn't able to pull myself out of everything that, you know, I felt like that was troubling me. And I'm really grateful to my therapist. I'm really grateful to my friends, to my family, because they really stuck by me. They stuck around, understood that, you know, my behavior was going to be erratic. I was going to be like just I was a complete flake, because, you know, one day I'd have the energy to do something, and then the next day I would just be in bed for 3 days, unable to get out or communicate or show up for work, or like, you know, do any of the regular things that my routine required. And so it was a long process, but you know, glad to be sitting here.
Glad to have you over here. And then, you know, the society that we live in, you decided to move out, not stay with your parents, and, you know, now lead a single, independent life. How is that? Because our society is very difficult that way to deal with.
So I think society is absolutely very difficult, and I come from a place of immense privilege when I say that it's been difficult, but I've managed because I also don't really care too much about what people say.
Of course. There was an incident that you discussed on Twitter where the police came in or something. What was that about? Because they kind of like misused their power or something?
Yeah.
What was that?
So, oh God. I was sitting in my lounge, it was like midnight, and I'm chilling. I'd gotten paid that day, so I was very happy. And there's like this really loud banging on my door, and I asked, "Ke kaun hai?" And they're like, "Police." And you know, you kind of freak out because what do you mean, why, what?
Yeah.
And I lived in a gated community at that point in time where the police couldn't really come in unless and until you'd called them. So I was like, okay, what's up? Why are you guys here? And they're like, taftish hai ji, ye hum wo kar rahe hain, like this is we're going around investigating, and who are you? Bring your ID card out. How long have you been living here and whatever? And I realized very quickly that something was off, and that रात के 12 बजे कौन सी पुलिस आती है आपके घर बुलाए बगैर तफ्तीश करने? And so I'm not sure what they thought. They either thought it was going to be like a quick, easy buck, or this was going to be someone who's going to be easy to intimidate or whatever. But I was extremely lucky because one of my best friends, who also happens to be a lawyer, lived very close by. So I called him quickly and I told him, I was like, dude, there's like 7 police walas outside my house right now. Can you come? And so bichara wo bhaga aaya, and then he dealt with them, and yeah, they basically just found out that it was a single girl living alone. Kahin kisi ne from within the area, whatever, Mugpari ki hogi, ya baat ki hogi, or whatever. And so they just assumed that it was going to be an easy target. And it's a harrowing story, but it's also a great story which explains just how difficult it is to be a woman in this country and to try and kind of make anything on your own, build anything on your own, because structurally there are so many obstacles, and structurally you are pushed back so many times that it's quite a painful process.
बहुत ज़्यादा heavy बातें हो गई हैं. अब चलते हैं ज़रा lighter side of the show. Let's do a rapid fire round with Haiya Bokhari. Let's do it. So, love or money, Haiya Bokhari?
Love.
Haiya as a child was like?
Haiya as a child was like quiet.
Yeah? What? Liar. I have to ask her brother or mother.
My brother, usko to bada acha yaad hoga na.
Acha khasa yaad hoga. If you had a choice to change your name, what would it be?
I would never. I love my name.
Haiya.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you like it when they mispronounce your name?
I'm used to it now, and also it's the kind of name that's very easy to turn into like a karate chop, so like I've just grown up with it.
Just like my name, yeah. I give up and then I'm like, no, that's not my name, you gotta say it right, or just call me Sumi. But anyways, 2 best dressed males and then female.
2 best dressed males. Mohsin Tawassuli, Rehan Bashir, extremely well dressed. And then females, Misha, Shafi, like she has incredible style.
She does.
And
she
Kiran
does.
Malik.
Kiran Malik is so hot, and whatever she carries.
Absolutely.
The way she styles it, everything. Yes, absolutely. Rate the dressing and styling of the following.
Oof. So
5.
Already not working. 5. What are you trying to do?
5 being the best and 1 being the worst.
Oh my God.
Okay? Shaya Munawar, your favorite.
Shaya's dressing sense is generally like a 4.
Okay. Sikandar.
I'd say like a 3, like Siki, like Xander's Siki, right? Yeah, I think he's good looking, but I don't think he focuses too much on what he wears.
Because he's good looking, that's why. What annoys you the most?
Lots of things. This is a very, very, very long list.
Okay.
But
3.
traffic.
Philia. Okay, great. 1 talent that no one knows about.
That I possess? I can't say it out loud.
Oh God. Okay, later on you better tell me that. Now I'm curious. You always lie about.
How late I'm going to be.
Oh God, yes. I've experienced it.
बस आ गई
अभी निकल चुकी हूँ और अभी कमरे में. Yeah. Describe in 1 word Haiya on Insta and Haiya in real life.
Haiya on Instagram is very stylized, and Haiya in real life is phate hue 10 saal purane pajame and a bun and just very chill.
That's true. That's true. A DM from stranger that you still remember.
This guy asking if he could lick my armpits.
I'm gonna throw up right away just by the thought of it. How disgusting is that? Drama queen style. Okay, when I say drama queen, who's the first person that comes to your mind? Don't you dare take my name.
I was just Okay, I'm gonna assume these will have to be like somewhat like known people.
Anybody. I mean, of course, not your like chatty buddy friend that no one knows about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say like the makeup artist Shoaib Khan is like a fantastic like drama queen on set.
If you say so. Now, moving on, I'm gonna test your memory with the Pakistani music scene.
Okay.
So let's see how good you are, and we shall move on to that segment, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got the first video.
Yeah, this is Shamoon.
What's the name of the song?
Confetti.
Ah, not so bad. Such a fun video. Usman, Khalid Bad.
I've never seen this video in my life before.
What?
I've never seen this video
have.
in my life before.
You just don't have a good memory.
Oh, I have the worst memory in the world. You know that.
Jaswal with his most famous song, Sajna. Sajna.
Never heard it. Oh, छोड़ो, Natasha.
छोड़ो, क्या बातें करती हो? That was fast. ये क्या गाना है?
Oh God, Asif with गुम हो गए क्यों? अच्छा, नाम नहीं याद आ रहा। याद बातें लम्हे
नहीं, लेकिन ये टाइटल ऑफ द सॉन्ग नहीं है।
वो लम्हे
बातें कोई न जाने।
भीगी रातें क्या है गाने का नाम?
यही है। Good job, Haiya. Not so bad at all.
Sumi, terrible. So bad.
It's just you get flustered because you don't have much time. I understand, but not so bad. You did fairly well. Thank you so much for sharing so much with us. It's so important to touch, topics like the one that we did, being single, being divorced, and having mental health issues, depression, and so much more. But before we go, feminism is one thing that I do want you to address. What is it for you, how important it is, and a message for people to what should they focus on when the word feminism is taken, because right now jab koi feminism bolte hai, people actually cringe because negatively usko promote kiya ja raha hai.
I don't know अगर उसको negatively promote किया जा रहा है because feminists तो कोई ऐसी बातें नहीं कह रही जो necessarily negative हैं. They're just pointing out either what happens to women regularly in society or they're pointing out the structural issues that we consistently have in society that we've had generationally, and they're asking for change, they're demanding change. I think the one thing I would like to say here is कि अगर आप feminism का word सुन के cringe कर रहे हैं तो शायद ज़रूरी है कि आप अपने आप से पूछें कि ये बात आपको इतनी बुरी क्यों लग रही है. जब औरतें अपने हकूक़ के बारे में बात कर रही हैं या अगर अपने हकूक़ मांग रही हैं तो आपको इस बात से इतना गुस्सा क्यों है? क्योंकि everyone knows that.
What do you think is being not done for it which should be done for feminism?
I think it's not being taken seriously by the state, by the government. Women's safety, women's health, women's issues are considered not important at all, or if important, they're considered to be extremely divisive. If you take a look at the domestic violence bill, for example, which is simply a bill that protects women and gives them a recourse for violence, for domestic violence, for the countless different kinds of abuse that they have to endure at their own homes, at the homes of their husbands, in society in general. And the fact that there is pushback against a bill that is there to protect women, I think it says a lot about why people are upset with feminism, because it's shaking up the foundations of what we consider is okay and moral in society.
Absolutely.
And frankly, it's pretty immoral to abuse or beat a woman. So,
of course. There you go. Thank you so much, Haiya, once again. And I shall catch you guys next week with yet another guest. This is Sumi saying, Baumana Khuda.